Hello, good day everyone. We are here again to our Power BI session. Okay, so this is uh, our topic today, Power BI visualization. As you can see, there is a dashboard, the final outcome dashboard that we're going to do today. Okay, so I'm just going to explain to you the parts of the dashboard. So we have here the dashboard title, the KPI, for the profit, sales, sum of discounts, the slicers, right? So when you select the slicer, it tries to change some values. Then the different parts of the dashboard, where these are the top customers, age group, subcategory, and product category. So enough talking. Let's proceed to creating our dashboard. So I'm going to close this dashboard and then going to start a clean project. Okay. So ito yung dashboard na kung saan tayo nagtapos last time. So what we're going to do is we're going to create dashboard from customer and sales data in our fields. Okay. But first and foremost, let me just try to create a design for our dashboard. So I'm just going to adjust some parts of this one. Okay. So I'm going to click here on this area and then go to format your report page. So for the page information, canvas setting, we can change actually the style of our report. But let's leave it to 16 by 9. Then for our canvas background, we can change this one, but apparently the wallpaper is the one that changes everything. So I'm going to change the color first. So I'm going to use this one. Okay. But I wanted it to be a little bit darker. So let's try to have a little bit darker. Something like this. Okay. So we're good with this dark background. And then let's leave it like that. Filter pane. Change the background. The same thing. Okay. Uh, let's get it back again for the filter. Let's just not change anything with this one. Okay, so we're done with the first step. We change the wallpaper, and then next is for this visualization. These are the top customers that we have. What we wanted to do here is let's change the visualization of this one into like this. And then for the visual, to remove the background, we're going to click General. And then for the effects, we're going to turn off the background. Okay. And then, as you can see, the titles and other information are not contrasting with the background, no? So, we're going to change the text color of the title to white. And then, what else? Let's go to visual and change the values of our, let's make it white for the values of the y. So this one on the left side. x axis rather, so the bottom part. And then for the title, we're going to remove the title. So off. Then for the y-axis, the values, we wanted to change it also to white. And then for the title of the axis, we're gonna make it off. Okay. What else? Grid lines. So this grid lines, I'm going to remove the grid lines by turning it off. Okay, so we have here our uh, graph, but let's try to change the sum of total sales by first name. So I'm going back here to your data visual, and then instead of sum of total sales, we're going to rename for this visual, and then let's say top uh, top customers. Let's check. Okay, did it change? If this did not change, we can change it in the title. Okay, top customers. Okay, so we have these top customers. So we have here a scroll because our customers are long. No. So let's try to readjust this one. First, let's try to readjust this one and put it aside. So let's build our dashboard. So let's create or insert a shape. So let's try to insert the shape on the reword insert. Okay, so let me use this one, rounded rectangle. Okay, so let's try to modify this one. Let's go to shape. So let's try to modify the round edges. Okay, so we're okay with 9%. Style for the color. Let's change this to white. And let's increase the transparency. Okay, something like this. So I can observe that there is a border. So let's try to remove that border. So the style has a border. So we're going to turn it off. Okay. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this one. So we're going to copy this, Control C to copy, and then Control paste, Control V. So we have here different work. So we can create our panels. So this is our first panel. So this is going to be the KPI. So let's adjust this a little bit. We're going to adjust the corners a little bit. Okay, something like this. Or a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so let's adjust our panel, our main panel here. And then let's try to move our chart here inside our panel for our top customers. Something like this. Okay, so let's adjust the height. Okay, so let's adjust a little bit for our KPI. Let's just copy this one and then paste, then copy and paste. Okay, let's have a bigger one for the granules. Okay, so this is a little bit big, so we're going to adjust it a little bit. Okay, so something like this. Okay, let's adjust it a little bit. Let's put some white spaces so it doesn't look congested. So as you can see, there is a red border guide. So it gives us a guide if we move it with the proper board with the proper space. Okay, so that's very helpful, the red guide. Okay, and a little bit of for the slicer here. So we're going to put the slicer here on the top. Okay, so we have here our top customers. Let me just adjust it a little bit. So I'm going to send it to back. Okay, send backward. Okay. So, kailangan ko siyang alisin doon para ma-adjust ko to. Tapos balik na lang natin. Okay. Alright. So, next is let's try to put some information to our panels. Okay. So, let's start with the tornado chart. So, click anywhere on the dashboard and then choose the funnel or tornado chart. And then in these tables that we have, I'm going to use age group, this one. So I'm going to drag the age, click and drag the age group to the funnel chart. And then for the values here, I'm going to use the order date. So I'm going to count all of the orders. Okay, something like this. Okay. So before I put that inside the panel, let me just quickly change the format. I think what I can do here, let me just uh, format painter. I think I can do the format painter here. Is it possible? Okay, format painter. Yeah, so I can do the format painter. So what I did there is, let me just try to. Okay, so what I did there is, let me just remove this again so that I can show it to you. So let me just start from the beginning. So click anywhere on our canvas here, and then it's important to click anywhere because if you try to activate one of the panel and then try to insert, it will change. So that's important, no, to click elsewhere. Kailangan mag-click tayo sa labas. Kailangan walang nakaselect, and then funnel, then use again the age group, and then the order date for the values. Okay, so look closely what will happen. I will click here in the top customers, and then in our home ribbon, I will choose format painter, I will click Format Painter and then click it to the graph that I want to copy all of the settings of the top customers. And then I'm going to click here. Then it will automatically apply all of the things that we done here in the top customer. But it seems that we still need to put some modifications. But we are halfway there. So that's a very, very helpful tool, this Format Painter. Okay, so let me just adjust this one so that it will fit inside our panel. Okay, something like this. All right. Then let's tweak it a little bit for the visual, for the data labels, sort of for the values. Let's change this to white first. Okay, so the change to white. Then the category labels, let's change this to white. And then the conversion rate, let's change this to white. Okay. So you know what? Let's add flavor to our coloring. So let's put some different color palette. So first in the top customers, let me just change this a little bit for the y-axis, for the color of the values. I want it a little bit yellow, something like this. Okay. No, maybe for the y-axis, for the x-axis rather. Let me just change it this one. Okay. Then for the for the order, let's change the title. So let's put here age group, something like that. And then try to change the text color. Again, let's try to change the conversion rate. The data labels, let's try to change this one to yellow. Okay. So now we are having flavor in our design. Okay. I like it. So next is, let's try to create a donut chart. All right. So again, on, let's click anywhere else. And then let's insert a donut chart. So here I'm going to use the category. Okay, category of the products. And then as well as its order. So I'm going to count each order for each category product. So I'm going to place it here. By the way, again, we can use the Format Painter. So I'm going to click here in the top customers and then click on Format Painter and then apply it to our donut chart. Okay. So let's tweak it a little bit for the legend. Let's put it on the top center. Okay. And then for the text, let's place it white first. So let me turn off the category. Okay, because that's redundant. So for the slices, I'm going to choose this yellow one because that matches our color palette. And then for the data labels, let's use percentage of total, and then the values, let's change this one into white. Okay. So I think I need to change also the title. Okay, so let's put categories. Product categories. Okay. Product categories. Let's try to change the labels a little bit more. So, okay. So let me click here and on our each group and add more for the conversion rate. Instead of white, I'm going for a lighter blue, something like this. Okay. And for the percentage, okay, I'm going to make it also light blue. Okay, so now it has an accent. All right. Next is let's try to put let's try to add categories. Okay. So I think what can I do here? So I think I can remove the excess panel. So let's remove the excess panel and then make it a little bit larger. Align it down. Okay. And then click anywhere else. Use this stock bar chart. And then for the subcategories, let's use the subcategory for our y-axis. And then for our x-axis, let's use the order date. So we will count order based on the subcategory. Okay. Again, let's use the format painter to lessen the process. Okay. Then adjust it more. Okay. So change the title. So this is going to be product subcategory category sub subcategory. Okay, something like this. Okay, let's just adjust it a little bit more. Okay, and then what else? Uh, for the bars, spacing. Okay, something like that. Data labels, general properties, effects, visual order. For the y-axis max area, so we adjust the max area width so that all of the labels on the x-axis will not be shortened. Okay, something like that. So you can switch it off depending on your liking. Okay. But I want it to be white and the x-axis will be the one which is going to be yellow. Okay. So we're halfway of accomplishing our dashboard, all right? But also I want to put something inside the middle of the donut chart. So I'm going to use a card. So click anywhere else and then use the card. So this is the card uh, visualization or chart. I'm going to use here the 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 daily sales. Okay, so our daily sales is not converted to decimal. So I'm going back to the data feature, and then for our for our sales, I'm going to change this daily sales to decimal number. Yes. Okay, and then go back to the report, then use the daily sales on the card. Okay, then again use format painter. Okay, then let's just adjust the color value to 20 so it will fit in the middle. Okay, so let's change the values instead of color black, color white. And then for the category label, let's change this to light blue. Then um so for the title, there's no title. If that is not there's no title, let's go back here. So I just change this one to rename the visual to total sales or sales. Okay. So let's just adjust a little bit. Okay, on the center. Okay. So our donut chart looks good now. Next is we're going to use cards for the KPI. So let's again click anywhere and then use the card. So I'm going to use here the profit, the total profit of all the orders. Okay. So we have here some profit, format painter. Okay. Or we should use this one. Okay, so click here, format painter. Okay. So our job becomes very, very easy, right? Sum of profit. So let's try to change this one to profit. Enter. Okay, something like that. Then I'm going to insert an image that I downloaded in the internet. So in where is it? Let me just this one. Okay. And then adjust and then place it here to add a little bit of aesthetic. Okay. So we have our card here. So let's repeat the process. Get another one. Now let's use the total sales. Something like this. Or this daily sales. It's the same thing, total sales and daily sales. It's just that this one is aggregated on our previous topic. So yung daily sales yung gagamitin natin. Then, same thing in our home. Click here and then format painter. Okay. Then change this to total sales or sales. Total sales or sales rather. Okay, let's just adjust this one and then place it here. And then let me just copy this and then paste it here. And then what else? For the discount. Okay. So let's have uh or what the card and then the discount and then again format painter adjust and then change this to discount. Okay, copy this, paste. Okay, and then the slicer. So we will try to use the slicer. Okay, so the slicer is this one. Click for the slicer and then use category. Okay. So for the design of our slicer, let's go to slicer settings and then yes, let's choose styles. And then for the general, for the effects, remove the background. For the visual border, let's try to use for the what else? Properties, visual for the selections, for the tile. Okay, slicer header. Let's for the font color. For the background, we use this. Okay, not that. For this is for the category. For the values, for the background, let's use this. Okay. Okay, so for the header, let's. There is no background. Reset to default. Okay. So let's remove the slicer header. And then, okay, so we're okay with this. For the border, we don't use gray, so we use the same color. Okay, for the text, we use yellow. Okay, so let's put it here. Okay, so our slicer is working. All right, so I think the last step is to put the title of our dashboard. So I will insert again a text box, something like this, and then let's place a sample. So let's place it on top. Okay. So for the title, I'm going to use Segoy bold, and then a little bit of, let's increase the size. 16. So let's change the value to product sales dashboard. Okay. So for the dashboard, let's change this to yellow. For the sales, let's change this one to this one. Okay. Then let's try to remove the background. So for the effects, remove the background. Okay, something like that. Okay. So if you want, you can put a logo here. No. So something like this. I can put my logo here. You can put your logo here or wherever you want. So let's just imitate what we have on our. Okay. So let's adjust it a little bit. All right. So we're done with our product sales dashboard. I hope you learned something today. So thank you very much. See you again on our next Power BI series tutorials.